Hello, today we'll be going through the data mining project using RapidMiner for the Singtel subscription analytics on churn analysis. Now, business understanding. Singtel is a telecommunication company in Singapore. The number of customers leaving Singtel and subscribing to its competitors is becoming a big concern to the company. Through data mining analysis with the given computed data set, the company can identify the common and key attributes which cause customers to leave the company for its competitor, and predict customers who are likely to leave. The company will work on resolving these attributes in order to cope with the customer churn rate and retain its existing customers as well as customers who are likely to leave. Solutions will also be proposed.
First, we'll use the read Excel operator to import the Excel file into RapidMiner. Now, there are many ways to import the Excel file into RapidMiner, but the fastest and easiest way would be to use the import configuration wizard in the parameters panel for this operator. So here we'll click on the Excel file that we want. Then we will continue on. And when we reach this page, we will have to change the attribute type for gender, mobile service, internet service, TV service, online security, device protection, tech support, contract, and churn from polynomial to binomial. So since we have already done that, we'll click on cancel first. Afterwards, we'll use the store operator to store our data into the local data repository. Then we'll retrieve the same data from the local data repository. Afterwards, we would run the results, and this will be the results that we get. So as you can see, the attribute type for the attribute that we have changed previously has already changed from polynomial to binomial. And from the results, we also have found out that there are missing values. So for tenure, there are 30 missing values. For TV service, online security, device protection, and tech support, there are 1,526 missing values for each. Finally, for total charges, there are 11 missing attributes. So it's important that we fix these missing values first before we can continue on with our process. In order to fix the issue of having missing values, we would use the replace missing values operator. So in the parameters panel, we will have to select the attributes that had missing values, which were device protection, online security, TV service, tech support, tenure, and total charges. So when we run the process, we can see that in the results, there are no more missing values. After fixing the issue of having missing values, we would then use the select attribute operator. So this operator actually allows us to focus on the attributes that we think would affect the prediction for the churn rate for Singtel and to take out all the other irrelevant attributes. So in the parameters panel, we would select the attribute that we think would affect the prediction for the churn rate for Singtel, which are churn, internet service, mobile service, senior citizen, and total charges.
Now we will talk about the operator set row operator. This operator changes the row of attributes and helps us set the necessary row for our chosen attributes. Each attribute has a row which will affect how other operators handle it. The default row of attributes is regular, and others are known as special. A dataset can have many special attributes, but there can only be one special row. As our main focus is to predict why customers are leaving, our special attribute will be churn. Hence over here, churn will be an attribute name and label will be a target row. As label is a special row, the churn attribute with the label row will act as a target attribute for our operators, thus helping us to predict why customers are leaving. Now moving on to the split data operator. This operator is used to split example set into training data and testing data. The relative size of each subset is determined by the partials parameter. We decided to divide the subset into 70% and 30%. 70% of the data set is used to test the model and 30% of the data will be used to train the model. We tried a few different ratios such as 40 to 60%, 50 to 50%, and 30 to 70%. In the end, this ratio of 70 to 30% is used because it has the highest overall accuracy of 74.99% when we tested it with the performance operator. For the sampling type, we use stratified sampling. Stratified sampling produces random subsets with the same class distribution as the whole example set. This means that in 30% of the training data and 70% of the testing data, there is roughly the same proportion of yes and no of the trained attribute as in the whole example set. This increases the accuracy of the training model as the subsets are not randomly chosen nor divided by their order in the example set. Now we'll move on to the decision tree operator. A decision tree is a graph that illustrates every possible outcome of a decision. In RapidMiner, the decision tree operator essentially makes use of the example set to generate a tree model for us. The model then shows us the possible outcome based on different decisions made. The reason why we chose this operator is to find out how the selected attributes result in customers discontinuing their subscription with Singletel. Furthermore, the tree-like model allows us to easily interpret and analyze the results. For the parameters, we have kept them all at their default values except for minimal gain. A lower value of minimal gain will result in more splits and therefore a bigger tree. After much trial and error, in order to get the attributes that we wanted in the tree, we have changed the value to 0.005. And lastly, we have the apply model operator. The purpose of the apply model operator is to get the prediction of unseen data. We use this operator whereby the trained model with 30% of the example set is applied and tested on the remaining 70%.
To evaluate the performance of our model, we can use performance evaluation operators such as the performance operator, performance classification operator, performance binomial classification operator, and performance regression operator, etc. We chose to use the performance operator as it can be used for all types of learning tasks. The other operators are used for a more advanced performance calculation, which is not necessary in our case. The performance operator is used to evaluate performance of classification tasks. This operator will provide a list of performance criteria values of classification tasks. The overall accuracy of the model is 74.99% in predicting customer churn. The class precision is the ratio of the true yes or no to the predicted yes or no. And the class recall is the ratio of the predicted yes or no to the actual yes or no. The total predicted no is 3,434 plus 1,045, which is 4,479. The total predicted yes is 188 plus 263, which is 451. The actual no is 3,434 plus 188, which is 3,622. And the actual yes is 1,045 plus 263, which is 1,308. Out of the number of customers predicted no, which is 4,479, 3,434 of them are true no, hence the class precision of 76.67%. It means that 76.67% of the customers predicted no would not leave. Out of the number of customers predicted yes, which is 451, 263 of them are true yes, hence the class precision of 58.31%. This means that 58.31% of those predicted yes would leave. Out of the actual number of customers that would not leave, which is 3,622, 3,434 of them, which is 94.81%, were predicted correctly. And out of the actual number of customers that would leave, which is 1,308, only 263 of them, which is 20.11%, were predicted correctly. This shows that the model was more accurate in predicting those that would not leave than those that would leave.
Now I'll be talking about the evaluation for our decision tree. So for our first observation, it's shown that customers who are on contract are less likely to churn as compared to those without contract due to customer loyalty with the company. Now I'll be talking about customers who are not under contract. So customers with total charge of less than $19 are unlikely to churn because of the low charges. Customers with total charge more than $7,600 are unlikely to churn as the total charges are affordable to them considering the tenure. Customers with total charge less than 7,600 do not have internet service are less likely to churn. This means that customers only subscribe to mobile services and are either satisfied with the service that the company provides or do not need internet services. Customers with internet service and are not senior citizens are unlikely to churn as they have access to internet service, which entitles them to further subscriptions available. Next, senior citizens with total charges of more than 4,900 are unlikely to churn. Research has shown that senior citizens spend almost 3 times more of their waking hours watching television as compared to younger adults. Thus, they are unlikely to churn due to their interest in the service provided as well as total charges being affordable to them, considering the tenure. Senior citizens with total charges between $4,900 and $42 are likely to churn due to the dissatisfactory service with the cheaper charges. Next, senior citizens with total charges of more than $42 and do not have mobile services are unlikely to churn. This is due to being satisfied with the other services and do not need mobile services. Lastly, senior citizens who have mobile services with total charges of more than $42 are more likely to churn. This means that they do not have internet service. Thus, customers are more likely to leave due to the lacking they have felt with the service provided.
For the model limitation, even with the help of the decision tree to analyze the selected important attributes that will lead to the possible outcomes of customers living or staying with Singtel, there are potential issues which should be taken into consideration during decision making. The decision tree analyzes the given completed dataset. However, not every decision tree is 100% accurate, due to it being an analysis and does not represent the behavior of every single individual who may choose to have a contract, subscribe to internet service, or any additional service. Also, we split the data 0.7 to the apply model operator and 0.3 to the decision tree operator due to a higher accuracy of 74.99% produced. With fewer training done, the model might not be very accurate. Now moving on to recommendations. Firstly, the Sales and Marketing Director can assign a Customer Service Department to implement and encourage the collection of feedbacks from customers. This feedback will enable the Customer Service Department to have an insight of what the customers think about the service, as well as take the correct action to solve any raised issue. When these problems are solved, customers will feel that they are valued by the company and thus minimizing the number of customers leaving Singtel. Secondly, the Sales and Marketing Director can assign the HR department to do market research on other telecommunication companies. By gathering data about the monthly charges, benefits, and incentives other telecommunications offer to their customers, Singtel will be able to better strategize and compete with their competitors and provide more attractive incentives to attract and retain their customers. Thirdly, the Sales and Marketing Director can collaborate and establish partnerships with banks or merchants to offer promotion to customers. An example would be M1, who offers a Citibank M1 Visa card. This allows customers to earn Citi rebate on recurring M1 bills, purchases at M1 shops, purchases at Citi rebate merchants, and other retail purchases at different percentage benefits. Through a partnership like this, Singtel will be able to promote their brand and also attract more customers to purchase from their shop. Lastly, the Sales and Marketing Director can assign the HR department to organize training classes for the employees who have direct contact with customers. After attending the training classes, employees will be equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge, and also have higher confidence in tackling any problems that they encounter. This leads to a better customer service provided to customers, allowing the company to earn the trust of customers, resulting in a lower number of customers leaving Singtel.